Morrison. Welcome to the Journey 2020. We come to you every Monday, 7 p.m. That's Eastern Time, right here on www.thejourney2020.com. And for a period of a few years, Dr. Robinson was my co-host, and as Dr. Robinson would say, the journey is from me to you and from you to me, so we can reach a higher level. Well, that's one of the reasons why I invited my guest today, and I've been pulling on her coattail for a while. So this should be an interesting show because over the period of some time, I've been knowing her, and we're gonna go back over some years. We're gonna go back over some years, and we're gonna talk about back in the day. And so I just want to say that at that time, when this was back in the 80s now. Okay, we're gonna go back to the 80s.
Excuse me?
Back to the 80s. And so at that time, I'm saying, we didn't know. And I was just teasing her, and this is a good thing. I nicknamed her Pitbull. Pitbull. So Miss Lawanna Gelzer, how you doing?
I'm fine. But why the 80s? Why you go way back to the 80s?
Well, I'm trying to connect the dots so people know how long we've been knowing each other.
Yes.
And I was just sitting here thinking about how, now, I grew up, and see, I'm originally from Jacksonville, okay? And where I grew up, and a lot of people who knew me even in college when I finished it, don't know me the way people from back home knew me, and that was I grew up as a jock. Okay, so where I played ball, and when I went down to Lake Lawanna to play ball,
yeah,
that was just like back at home.
That's right.
So there's a lot of brothers that I played ball with wouldn't go down there and play.
Right.
But this sister used to show up down there. This sister used to go, yeah.
I played with Daryl Dawkins and all of them. That's how I learned how to play basketball.
Right, right.
I played ball at the Doom. I'm one of the few women that could play ball at the Doom and get picked on the teams and play.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Because I know, I looked up one day and I was like, oh, look, this sister, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. And it wasn't once or twice. You was down there.
No.
Right, yeah.
That was my hangout on Saturday, especially Sunday, after church. And it was ironic. I mean, I just loved the game, but just being around those gentlemen, it's a matter of fact, I just was around a few of them, and we were talking about those days when I used to come to the Doom and play basketball. And a lot of people don't know that part of me, that's what paid for my education.
Right.
Playing basketball at Rollins.
Right.
I mean, I did what I had to do.
Right.
And I understood what my role was to perform. And being with the gentleman, I learned a different way of playing the game.
Okay. Okay. Well, once you talk about it, go back and let's talk about you for a minute in the sense of where you're from originally.
Actually, I was born in Jacksonville.
Really?
My father and mom met there in Jacksonville. I was born in Jacksonville, and about 3-4 years later, they moved to Cocoa, Florida. Okay. My father worked at the Cape for many years, and then we happened to move to Orlando in 1971 because of Disney. Okay. Disney brought my father here. He was a specialist in construction. He did some unique facilities and things that he's still known for, but he's gone on. But a lot of people remember what he was able to teach other young men. And that's how we came to Orlando in 1971. And been here ever since. Oh,
okay. Now, what I've always wanted to ask you in addition, well, who started you playing ball, though? Who started you playing ball?
I really don't even I remember running track, because a lot of people remember me from track back in junior high. Let my age show because they call it middle school now.
Right. Same here.
And
same here.
I actually had to run track with the guys because they didn't have female teams at the school I attended.
Right.
And so my 9th grade year, they started basketball. And because actually I was voted the most athletic girl in my 8th grade year because I won some state championships and some other stuff. And I actually placed, I think, 4th in the county all by myself. So we got a basketball team, volleyball team, and that's when I started in all 3 sports. I played volleyball, basketball, and then I ran track. So I lettered in all 3 sports at Edgewater.
Okay. Now, how did you end up at Rollins? I mean, because Rollins now, you have to have some money to go to Rollins, because that's like, you know, it's like Rollins. Oh, that's like the preppy school. You know, that's like you need the money to go to Rollins. You know, that's kind of like going to Notre Dame and all that other. You know, Rollins, the preppy school. So how did you end up at the preppy school?
I actually was nerdy in school. I graduated my 11th grade year, but because of finance, I had to go my senior year. So I took a lot of college courses. But frankly, I went away my first year, didn't like it. And Rollins heard, a couple of people from the school heard that I was not happy at the school I was currently at, because my parents wouldn't let me go to the University of Miami, which gave me a full ride.
Wow.
And they would not have let me attend University of Miami.
What?
So
wait a minute.
Well, they had just had the riots.
Okay.
It was some issues with Miami at that time. Okay,
because I was wondering, did it have more to do with Miami, or did it have more to do with you?
No. Remember, nerdy. So no, it just wasn't the school for me. So Rollins, when I came back my sophomore year, gave me literally full ride. And I said, okay, I'm close to home. Let's just do this. So it was never getting in. I mean, I majored in economics and mathematics. Do I use it? I do. But I just think I knew I had to get a scholarship to go to college.
Okay.
And at that time, Rollins was $10,000 a year, and it's $65,000 now.
Right.
But the bottom line is, I tell everybody I was blessed.
Oh, yeah,
I walked out of Rollins only owing $2,500 for the 3 years that I attended.
Wow.
And I paid that off, and I was happy.
Right.
No student loans. I mean, God blessed me.
Right.
He really did. And it taught me about life. And it prepared me for the journey that I've been on for especially the last 5 years of my life.
Now, I wanted you to come on this show because, because I'm going back to when we used to play ball and all of that and other stuff, and then over the years, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing you becoming this person, and I'm seeing what's taking place, and I'm reading the emails and the emails over the period of years, and I'm like, wow, so my question is, this passion you have, and when we talk about it, you understand what I mean by this passion. First of all, let me say this right here. I hate politics. I would make a good politician because I don't know how to, if it walks like a duck, quack like a duck, smells like a duck, I don't know how to say it other than it's a duck.
And those are the politicians we need.
Right.
Clearly, we don't have those kind.
I don't know if they exist.
They do. Okay. That's why I'm not a politician. Because I will not lie, I will not cheat, and therefore the people want somebody they can control. Right. You can get more out of me with me just doing what I can do for free and helping my community. So there's a reason why you see those type of individuals in that arena, right? Because it attracts wrongdoers. Right. Not all politicians are bad individuals, but I have read against a few of them that I question.
But see, what I'm saying is that, to me, I don't think it may necessarily be the politicians. I just think it's the system. The system is set up for it to be that way, and we can have a discussion about this, because to me, I think because the system is set up off the ignorance of the people. And what I mean by that is the reason why DC is the way that it is because they thrive on the ignorance of the people. And
I don't like. Can we rephrase it?
No. I have to say that.
It withholding information.
No. This is what I mean by the ignorance of the people. Okay. This is what I mean. During an election year, it shows who we are as a whole, as a country. It shows how we're separated. I hate it when it's time for the president's. I hate it because I just get so sick of it. It just drives you crazy, and you hear one lie after another, and then you really see who we are as a country. Okay.
Okay. I understand what you're talking about.
So no, but what I'm saying is, like, I give you a perfect example of what I mean by that. Rush Limbaugh, right? I admire Rush Limbaugh.
Okay.
I like Rush Limbaugh. You know why? Because to me, Rush Limbaugh is a very smart dude. He is rich, famous, and powerful because of the ignorance of the people. And that's what he tap into. People
he
ignorant.
Knows his audience. Ignorant audience.
There you go. And Rush knows how to, it doesn't matter. Rush can go and pick on a Democrat, he can go pick on a Republican. It's still the same because he knows how to tap into their ignorance. And he tap into their emotions and feel like they taking away something, or they got this and they got that, and they get all uproar and Rush throws out more crap than Trump. You know, and people are like, yeah, because he done figured out the less informed we are, we're divided, and we're so busy trying to get the crumbs and worried about somebody else's crumbs, we can't come together, so they stay in power. Because we are so divided down here and throwing punches, and we this way and that way, and they just looking at us like, boy.
Well, they are looking.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is they know they don't have anything to worry about because we can't come together enough to say, you supposed to be working for us. You supposed to be working for us. But I also say for the good politicians, the ones that go in there with the right mindset, I think they go in there, then they get in that seat, then they get a little taste of it, then they go like, whoa, I got to play along, and I like this. So now it becomes like, oh, I need to do what I need to do to make sure that I stay in this seat.
Exactly.
So I'm saying it's the system.
Well, I agree with you on that point, but I always go back to the voters. If you're going to allow them to sell you an island in the middle of nowhere, then you're going to allow them to sell you an island.
The ignorance of the people.
So I know it's a lot of those individuals that exist. And what I find myself a lot today is identifying a few that can comprehend what is truly going on.
Right.
Because if I focus my energy on those individuals who I can sell them that island, we will never get anything, or nothing will change. There has been some changes, but not enough.
Right.
And so I find myself having to give the alternative information or the right information or ordinance or different things that are happening with our local government. Because I find my people don't go to city council meetings. They don't get involved. They don't read between the lines. And they assume that when someone is telling them something and is a politician, it must be right because they must know. No, question them all the time. And you'll be surprised if you do that, how empowering, how it feels to know it's not you checking them, it's keeping them abreast that you work for us.
Right.
And if you don't do that, don't come to me when they don't screw it, taking your neighborhood away and everything else, because they will do it.
Right.
They will do it.
Right. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to switch subject for a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to switch subject for a minute. Anthony Grant.
The former mayor of Eatonville.
Anthony Grant.
Was indicted, yes.
Right.
And found guilty this past Friday.
Right.
2 felony counts and 1 misdemeanor.
Okay.
And because of the severity of what he did, he didn't get a chance to go home. He will stay in jail until his sentencing. No appeal right now. If he appeals, he will still be in jail. He will be incarcerated. He's looking at 40 years. But my problem with the situation is why nobody is not yelling when myself, Lawanna Gelzer, Mike Cantone, almost 4 years ago took a case that was way more damaging than his case against Mayor Buddy Dyer and Commissioner Sam Eames. Over 1,000 pages, we could prove that absentee ballot fraud had taken place. You harvested ballots. We had proof with the stamps, with the signatures. One of the absentee ballot brokers, Sandra Lewis, I'm going to call the names out, faxed in over 5,000 requests from one fax machine. All of this is documented. Took it to Jeff Ashton. They sat on it, sat on it, sat on it. So to Anthony, I'm sorry you're going to jail, but I want everybody to say, why not Mayor Dyer? Why not Sam Eames? Why not other politicians who have done the same thing? Why did it stick to him? So to you African Americans who've already paid, we coming for you. Because we are tired of you winning elections by cheating. The law says you are not to harvest, you're not to pay for votes, and you're not to do what you're doing. But you do it anyway because you thought Mayor Dyer got your back. Well, Mayor Dyer, we got enough evidence on you. And you was here, Charles, when Mayor Dyer was moved from office in 2004. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Who was the plaintiff? I was. Okay. I have all of that data. I gave Mayor Dyer his mug shot, his first mug shot. And with the information we've gathered over these years, he needs to go to jail. He needs to be indicted. He's done some terrible things to our city when it comes to growth and especially our urban community. So I'm sorry for what happened to Anthony Grant, but I want the same thing to apply to politicians of the lighter hue, meaning Caucasian politicians, and not just the African American politicians.
But now, saying what you're saying, and I'm going back to the system. Mm-hmm. The system. And as you know, it's a good boy network.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good boy network. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so like example for Trump, right? Now, it's different but yet the same. And I'm just using this as an example of what I mean. To me, I think Trump just laugh at the media. I think Trump laughs at us as a whole because I think he just throws stuff out there. Well, he throws stuff out there just to deflect and take away from this, take away that, and then he just does and just say stupid, crazy stuff because he knows that they're gonna sit there and talk about it. And I'm sitting there and I watch CNN, and I'm like, and because I've been in news for a very long time.
Yes, you have.
Worked in news. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to them in their discussions and what they're talking about. And it sometimes I just have to turn it off because it's such bull crap. But they won't deal with the facts and the issues and what is truth. They just talk around his bull crap, which make his bull crap even more bull crap to talk about the bull crap. And he thrives on that.
Absolutely. But see, for a person, first of all, don't assume who I supported. First of all, I was a Bernie supporter because I'm concerned about my environment. And I'm concerned that the Democratic Party has taken me, an African-American woman, for granted. See, nobody can win an election without black women, period.
Okay.
And so when Hillary didn't win, the first group they wanted to blame was black women. No, Hillary, don't blame me. It was white Caucasian women that voted for Trump. What you failed to understand was you had demonized our community for so many years. You thought no matter what, we were going to come out and vote for you, but you never spent dollars in our community. All you thought was you could say, hi, I'm Hillary, and are we going to vote for you? No, the wealth as black women, no one votes at the percentage of black women. 78 to 80% of us went to vote that was eligible to vote. Nobody can touch our numbers. Did you hire us to work in your campaigns? No. Did you spend money in our community so we get more people to the polls? No. You took us for granted. Mm-hmm. And so I tell all politicians, all parties, I don't care. As a black woman, if you're not ready to recognize you can't win without us, and we're sick and tired of you treating us like second-class citizens, we'll get more Trumps, we'll get other ones. Because we are standing up and saying, no more. I just got a list of all the white women that's running for Senate and the roof list and everybody want me to participate. Do you ever support a black female running? No. I had to talk about when Women's History Month came up, when they were doing all the marching. Mm-hmm. All of the issues, Planned Parenthood, all kinds of issues that were affecting Caucasian women. But that wasn't the number one issue for African American women. Mm-hmm. I had to do a seminar on racism and sexism. I'm a black woman first. I'm trying to make sure the police ain't raping me, beating me up, killing my nephew or my husband or whoever's in my family. I'm dealing with police brutality. I'm dealing with inadequacy as far as on the job, how I've been treated, my economics. Every black woman, when you add up our money and what our worth is, we only worth $5. Oprah money included, $5. So I'm looking at all of these issues. You don't want to talk about that. You just want me to come and march and say kumbaya. Kumbaya no more.
But
no more.
You know what bothers me, honestly, and you being a person of color, you will understand that. The racism of this country, their attitude, and I always have this conversation, and I say it like this. There's something wrong in the sense of people, and I try to say this. No. What I'm trying to say is I try to say this to my friends because they don't seem to understand. There's something in which white people see black people, and whatever that is, they are above us.
White privilege.
Well, no. I mean, that's obvious, but I'm still trying to get them to understand that no matter, and a lot of times, let's just say that we're not even talking about the ones that may be racist or biased, but there's still something about how the world see people of color. There's something about we are still beneath, and we are supposed to be slaves. We are supposed to be lynched. We supposed to be, because it's not a problem. Because, well, you know, you're a person of color. You're supposed to bow down to me. Whatever that is, and the sad part of it is, a lot of us believe it too.
Well, you find that when you keep working with them, because I was told I was queen when I was a child, and I said, I understand what you're saying, but what we have to understand is, whoever those individuals are, don't spend your money at their stores. Don't patronize them. But I understand the undertone. The undertone is we're giving them that power. I'm not going to give it to them.
But that's my whole point. There's a Wing place in this area. Wing place. They advertise it, and I sent them an email and a letter back in 2008, 2009, and I said something on Facebook. I said, didn't get no reply. All these advertising on the billboards, on the commercials, you go to their website, you got to go about 5 pages in before you see a person of color. Now, it's a good restaurant to serve great wings, but they don't have any black people in the advertising.
Because they can get away with
exactly.
that.
But this is my point. When I call us, people of color, on it, no response. No response.
We don't know our power.
That's my point.
You don't. First of all, we're the 6th richest country in the world, black people, with our money, our trillions of dollars that we spend, disposable income. I'm not looking at the camera. Your disposable income. We are very wealthy black people. They got you believing that you don't have no self-worth. You buying into it. Like I said earlier, I got an island to sell you because you buying into that hypocritical. I don't even know what word to call it. Why would you let someone tell you what your value is and put you on a plantation? And I tell people all the time, my last name is Gelzer. You don't know no black people with that last name. I know who I am. Second of all, if we were slaves, which some of us were, we were field slaves. We knew how to fend for ourselves. We were not in the house. You got black people that got that nice little job and gonna do whatever master say to do to keep their job. If that means turning on your own people, they got you exactly where they want you. They don't fear you. Now me and others fear me. Not that I'm going to hurt you. Fear me that I will bring out the truth to expose you and your corruptness. Fear me for that reason. I will bring the truth. Fear me for that. If we knew the power we possess.
But see, that's the problem. When you say what you say, you want to know what the problem is? The truth is all around us. The truth is right there. The truth is in the history. The truth is when you look in the mirror. The truth, you step out into the truth every day. Every day, you live it every day, and still, what do you get? You still, and you look, and you, I mean, just like the place I was talking about, the wing place.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly. I don't buy no wings there.
So I haven't been there since 2008. All right, and I like their wings, but I refuse to go in there and spend my money.
Exactly.
And then the thing is that I look at the guy who owns it. And he won't have a problem because he know we gonna go there and spend our money and go and say, I don't have to worry about you because you stupid. I already know
They
you
laughing
stupid.
at you.
Right, exactly. And when you say something like that and nobody responds, then you understand, because my pastor did something. He talked about this, I don't know if it was in Bible study or was it on Sunday. And I don't have to tell you this because this is right up your alley. He gave a breakdown of how much the money stays in the Asian community.
They like 5%, $12.
Then he gave the percentage of how much the money stays into the Jewish community, into the Hispanic community, and he gave the statistics on how long it stays in the black community, a millisecond, and it's just like, and it's just sad, but at the same time, our value system. You know, whether or not it's a chain around our neck, whether or not we're rolling with some spinners, whether or not it's something that has no value at all, and then you got a car that if you look at the blue book value, the car may be worth what, $2,000, but you done went and put $3,000 worth of sound and this and that and this in it and da 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 da. But then if a rainy day comes, you don't have no money for nothing. You know, so. Whatever that is in us, and whatever slavery they did,
but it was done. Come on, first of all, let's just be honest. Our people have been not bamboozled. We have been institutionalized.
Right, exactly.
Racism, but we have been brought over, stripped,
right,
of everything,
right,
taken away from our cities and everything. But what I get angry about is when you hear about slavery, even Ben Carson in his stupid statement, well, we wasn't voluntary, but we were kind of happy. Bull crap. See, I always teach my nephews and my sons and everybody I want to call my children the truth about slavery. It was ugly, but we built this country. But what you need to understand is they stripped us, but we still allow them to strip and put whips on our backs today. Right. But when you teach them about the birth of the nation movement, when you teach them about the Negroes with with guns, when you teach them about we rebelled. See, they never want you to know we rebelled against slavery. And when you hear we did not go down, we lost so many brothers and sisters to slavery. They beat it into us. Right. But they are not beating you today with a whip. They're beating you today with letting you feel like you need to have certain things and come to us because we're the only ones that have it. So you still allow master to dictate how you live and set your standards. And so you, myself, and others, they see as threats. What we need to do is figure out how we can reach some more of those millennials and others who are fearless. They're fearless. And let them understand we can't continue to give away our power. And our power is our pocketbook. Our power is our vote. Our power is allowing them to be our voice. Stop being voiceless and get voices.
Now, what I was saying, how, back in the day when we was down at Lake Lawanna playing some basketball, you know what I'm saying? And I really miss those days because it really reminded me of home back when I was in Jacksonville. And honestly, we used to go down there, and I knew some brothers who used to play ball all the time. They would not go down to Lake Lawanna and play ball. To me, it was
because they didn't have the right game. You had to have the game. You had to have game.
I mean,
you can't come down there half-stepping.
It was a little physical, but that's how you play the game.
That's how you play the game.
It was good though. But I say that, and then some time went by, and then you started coming into your own. So I'm gonna let's go back to the passion. And when did you discover your calling?
When did I finally give into my calling?
Right.
Because I ran from my calling for many years. My parents knew I was unique and different because I came up with the desegregation. I was bussed out of my neighborhood once I got to 4th grade. I never got to walk to school ever again once I moved to Orlando and then the 4th grade. I was on a bus from that point on. So I saw the difference in treatment of students coming from my community, Paramore, and other communities, and how the Caucasian students were being treated. I got called the N-word for the first time and didn't know what it was. I had a teacher tell me my Santa Claus had to be white and couldn't be colored, and I had to tell her, ain't no white man coming down my chimney bringing me no toys. Right. So I kind of understood, but that passion was there. The development of Lawanna didn't come until her late mid-30s. She saw things. She was part of student government, Black Student Union. She understood, but they were trying to tell me to assimilate, to become, and I could not be something I was not. But when I really returned back home, I didn't go away, but when I really put my roots down and bought a home and began to invest in some other things and working with young people and teaching young girls, I started doing the cheerleading and the basketball and the football for kids in the inner city. I began to take notice that it was my time to pass on what I had learned. And then when I started passing on, my passion as far as politics came in, but more so as understanding how politics, local politics, affects my day-to-day living and how it's integrated into how I live. And I didn't like what it was doing in my communities. I didn't like my community being treated differently than College Park. Or Thornton Park. Something's wrong here because I'm in Paramore, you treat me differently. When I live in Rock Lake, you treat me differently. So what you're really telling me is because I live in an urban community or I'm a person of color, you can treat me differently, but you still want me to pay taxes. You still want me to abide by the rules and regulations, but all the money that I pay and all the money my community brings to the table, it goes somewhere else. I had a problem with that. So I butted heads with a lot of black politicians. Well, Lawanna, it's just the way it is. No, it's not. It's what we are allowing to happen to us. So the more I dug, the more I began to read, the more research I began to do, public requests, even the threat of being charged $1,000 from the city of Orlando. Even when we did a hearing, a quasi-hearing against the soccer stadium for all the violations of the rules, they did depositions on my mom and myself. Then they requested my tax returns. And lo and behold, you didn't find nothing. But almost 6 months after we got standing, I get audited by the Internal Revenue Service. Really, guys? That's the best you can do. And they found out. They gave me another $387. I made a mistake. And I'm an accountant. Really? Because sometimes I choose not to take deductions. Right. They gave it to me anyway. So if you're doing the right thing and they're coming after you like that, you have to stay prayerful. You have to stay prayed up because you're bringing down some strongholds. And my mom being a minister and understanding spiritual warfare, we got our hands in the devil's mouth. But he not going to bite. Because we got the information that if he bite, you ain't going to get my hand, you're going to expose yourself. So I have learned not to be afraid of the information and the knowledge God has blessed me to share it. Because when I share it, I tell everybody if something happened to me, it was Mayor Dyer or Chief Nina. I mean, I have to be honest.
Wow. Because
they have sent the police after me in city council meetings. They have yelled at me. They tried to have me arrested. I haven't broken any laws. That's a form of intimidation. A white man does not like a black female talking to him. And I tell him all the time, Mayor Dyer, you work for me. This is not a democracy. Well, this is not a dictatorship.
Well, that was my next question that I was no. That was my next question that I was going to ask you. How often do you see him, and what is it like when you two are in the same room, and what was the last encounter in a sense? And I'm not talking about anything other than a conversation. And so that was 3 questions there, you know. So however you want to answer that. So it's like what is it like when you two are in the same room, and if you do have a conversation, what is that like? Cordial? I mean, is he cordial?
No, he had lately. I think his staff had to tell him you need to back off on her. Because you're being filmed too, Mayor Dyer. And just like she abides by the rules. She knows what buttons. And I have said it to her, Mayor Dyer, you don't talk to nobody else like this but me. Is it racial? Is it sexist? What is it? I mean, and then I've said to him, Mayor Dyer, It must be true. I really am getting to you. I'm not getting to you to hurt you. I'm exposing what you're doing in my community. And I won't go away. But last Monday, I was at City Council. I spoke. I get up. I know the rules. I address only him. I don't address any other commissioners. I don't call none of them out their name. I know when to speak on the issues and stuff. And like I told him, it's your tactics. It's what you have done in the past make me come before you and go on record. It's what you have done to my community and how you've treated my community. So I told him, I will not be here if I don't have a problem with what you're doing. But I will be here, even though you're going to vote against my community, vote against me, on record, I stood up for the voiceless. Because most people can't be the city council at 2 o'clock on a Monday.
Wow.
They purposely do that.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter. We have that documentation.
But see, that's what I mean by the ignorance of the people. The only reason that they're able to do that because the people allow them to do that.
But all governments have been doing this for a while.
It doesn't matter.
I agree with you.
And that's the only reason. Like, for an example, if this country really was about it, voting wouldn't be on a Tuesday.
It would be on Saturday, like it's in Eatonville.
Right.
It would be
right.
But we do have early voting now.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if people really wanted, I mean, if they really understood, they came together and said, no, we need to vote on Saturday. You know?
Or right. I was just having this conversation.
Or like, for an example, they would make it mandatory. If you're running for president, you need to, give us your tax return. Period.
Well, that's another story. I don't know how he's getting away with that.
But I'm saying, because if the people were together and they were about it, but we're so separated. And I'll say this right here. See, Trump is entitled to be Trump. I don't have a problem with Trump being Trump. Mm-hmm. Because Trump, I mean, he's a narcissist. And I think he has some mental issues and stuff like that. And I'll say this right here. If you took, I've said this on my show several times, if you took away Donald Trump's money, if he had no money, if he was just Donald Trump with no money, they would consider him trailer trash. Would nobody talk to him, and he would get his butt kicked if he walked in the room being Donald Trump.
But how do we know if he has money?
You know what I mean.
How do we know he has?
No, our perception of who he is about his money. That's our perception. Okay. And so because we look at him and we see his money, so therefore there is power. So therefore there's the money. So I'm saying, if you took away his money, let's just say nobody knew Donald Trump, but he walked in the room, Donald Trump, just average Joe Schmo, and then he started being Donald Trump. They gonna, who? He would get knocked out. Somebody would put their foot up his butt, and they would consider him true.
I don't want to talk about Trump no more, because Trump.
But what I'm saying is this right here. Trump is entitled to be Trump. I don't have a problem with him being, right. I don't have a problem because he's entitled to be Trump. But this is the issue. There's something in us as people that the reason why is we want to be that guy. We want to be, you know what? There's a law, but you know what? Because whatever that is in us, well, we want to be a little bit above the law. We want to be the shot caller. So there's something else that's rooting for him, because there's some of us who want to be that, well, this rules really don't apply to me. So, just like if my child get arrested, but they really shouldn't go to jail. Or if I get caught for something, I really shouldn't be arrested because I should get away with it. And there's something in us that look at Trump and go, I really kind of want to be like him.
I'm going to disagree with you.
I'm serious.
Well, I don't know who these people are, but they exist. But I'm not in that category.
No, I'm not saying
but
everybody.
You got people,
I'm not saying
but you
everybody.
Got people that want to be in charge and want to make people's lives miserable, want to be held on a pedestal. Right. I would not disagree with you.
So I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying there's something in a lot of people that look and they're trying to and want to be like that. I'm the shot caller. I'm above, the speed limit is really 65, but I should be able to drive 95, and if the cop stop me,
I ain't going to do 95. I ain't going to do 70.
But you know what I mean.
I understand what you're saying.
So there's some of us who I want to be that Trump guy because I want to break the rules too. I'm above the rules.
I'm at this point now. I understand how Trump won. I've met with some of his people on the transitional team, and they were shocked. They understood how he won. He tapped into a group of people that always been there. And this is what we need to understand. If you are a Democrat, Independent, Tea Party, whatever, the bottom line is we need to hold him accountable, but we need to also be prepared. Because what he's doing to this country will no longer be the number one country in the world. We will drop or we will be headed to war. I'm more fearful of what he's doing as far as our reputation and how we're being perceived and in the world, and how people are laughing for us to have such an individual in office representing them, and how he's gotten away with a lot of stuff. But I'm going to hold the House, which is led by Republicans, and the Senate, which is led by Republicans, and say, oh, boo, you blocked President Obama on everything.
Oh, well,
now you got Trump. And maybe God needed us to see how far you will go to have some power. But is it worth us losing our strength and our dignity as a country? And I hope they wake up very soon. Because I got friends that live in other countries. And they said, when you coming to move over here, girl? Because I said, I don't know. But this is crazy. Because I have nephews that are at an age that could be drafted to go to war. And they shouldn't go and fight for stupidity. We're not being attacked.
Well, a lot of the wars have been over stupidity, But,
I agree. But you're messing with my family now. My dad did the Korean War. I'm sorry. I don't believe in fighting for stupidity. Ain't nobody attacking us. We Muslim bans, everything you possibly can think of this man has done. The Trump care, but he don't want to call it Trump care. Find the issues and start working on the issues. I tell everybody, when you focus not on the person, but the issues and how they affect you, watch what you can get done. If you're waiting for Trump to change, he's not going to change. If you want to be like him, go right ahead. I got to find those individuals who understand where we're at. I tell my friends now, don't be going to spend no money, because it's going to get tough. It's about to get tough in this country. Jobs are going to be hard to find, and if white people got a cold, black people got the flu, and we headed to the graveyard. So let's wake up.
No, we got pneumonia. They just did an $800 billion cut in Medicaid. Right? Yeah.
But they think, first of all, this misconception that I did a report when I was I had to be 16. My civic report, I got sick and tired of my students. I went to a predominantly Caucasian school. It's talking about how many people get public assistance. At that time, it was called welfare. I got sick of hearing that. And so I went and got the report. See, everybody wake up. That $800 billion cut going to affect poor white people. See, y'all think y'all above me because you're white. You're the one getting most of the assistance in the country. But you think because they put the fare of a black woman receiving public assistance, it's us. It's you. You let the man you elected tell you now you don't get no medical coverage. Wake up. Because he's screwing your community more than he's screwing mine. We know how to survive without some insurance. Some of us don't have insurance today. We know how to do what we got to do. We're surviving people.
That is very true.
But I tell my people today, be prepared. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse.
That is true.
And so people are going to start blaming African Americans and others at fault when times get tough. It's not our fault. You elected this man. You said you wanted him. You liked what he was saying. And that's fine to then. Now live through it.
Okay.
I'm prepared not to live through it. I'm prepared to understand what I can do on a local level to protect what little I have. And I'm not looking for my government to provide me with any handout. But what I will say to my government is stop taking from me. Don't tax me no more, Mayor Dyer, raising my taxes 17.7% so you can give yourself a raise and give all your friends corporate welfare. See, nobody ain't screaming yell when I was at the budget hearing last year and I discovered that the city spent $52 million on soccer stadium construction. First of all, that's a private entity. Why are we paying $52 million for soccer stadium construction? When I asked for them to disclose it, oh, it was we reallocated. I said, man, I have a finance background. You can't reallocate. This is an expense. This is went through an audit. Why nobody is outraged and screaming and yelling, I don't know. I want my $52 million. Let's start all over. I found some more money. Start finding how they're mismanaging our money and start filing complaints at the state attorney office or whatever you need to do on your local politicians. Because what Trump does will trickle down, but it might take a year or two to get to us. Right. What Buddy and Mayor Teresa Jacobs do affects us immediately. Immediately. I tell everybody, local politics, get your hands in there and understand you can make change. They only do it because they can get away with it.
I mean, how frustrating is it for you, being a resident of the city of Orlando and Orange County, and you're saying what you're saying, and we as residents of here just clueless? How frustrating is it for you?
Sometimes it hurts. Mm-hmm. And you know, I have to have a few friends that I can not cry on their shoulders, just bounce it off. And for years, when they wanted to attack my character, you might have didn't hear, but always she crazy. She don't know what she talking about. I'm not crazy. It's nothing wrong with me. Don't attack my character. If, like my friend who's an attorney, not too far from here, said, they come to her with that. If someone is saying something negative about me or you, I'm going to tell them, well, what have they done? I'm not going to go along with the character assassination. So what I feel like we got is people who want to be in charge but don't want to do the work. I don't look to my ministers and my mama minister to guide me in this fight. I look to my God and I look to my research and informing myself on how I can make a difference. So I get upset.
We'll see.
When you get these ministers in the pulpit telling me what you ask now, you can't cut me off now, telling me what we need to do, what we need to work with the community. No, you ain't working with the community. When I pull up the finance report of Sam Eanes and Regina Hill, and they just gave you $500, or gave you $1,000, I paid for you to have a gospel concert. You've been bought. Get up out of my way. Get out of my way, because you have sold your community out for crumbs. Mm-hmm. So move. So am I frustrated? Guess who I'm more frustrated with? The pastors. The people that work for the city of Orlando. The men especially. The African men who have allowed Mayor Dyer to yell and scream at me, and they sitting in the audience and they don't say nothing.
Wow. Okay.
You a punk head. You weak. Would you let him talk to your wife like that? I guess so. You so concerned about your doggone pitching in your job, he laughing at you because he got you exactly where he wants you on that plantation. You afraid to blink your eye. I'm not. Mm-hmm. So I tell everybody, even if it's 5 or 6 of us, we coming. So I'm frustrated in that's what's happening. You got people like that that's still on that plantation with that plantation mentality. Oh, Lord, Lawanna, I wouldn't say nothing about that. Are you really sick? Oh, one I got, a city official. My mom and I just came from depositions. I just stay in my lane. You the community liaison person for the mayor. What you mean you staying in your lane? What you saying is you not going to go against Mayor Dyer or the white people because they done told you to chill out.
Right.
So, frustration, then get them. That's why you get all the emails. And like I tell everybody, more to come. The one thing I did have to learn is patience.
Right.
Patience is not when I want it, it's when he say it's time. And boy, when he opens up a door, my Lord opens up a door, you see stuff come. You say, I didn't know she was talking about that. I didn't know this went on. I'm fine. And even if it's just Lawanna Gelzer on that battlefield, I'm on the field.
Right.
Because I'm not going anywhere.
Recently, we were talking back and forth at the District 5 meeting. I was videotaping, and you were to my left, and kind of sum up that meeting. Just just kind of sum it up. Give me your opinion of it. And
well, I want to make a disclosure.
Okay.
My mother is currently running for that position, District 5. That was her decision.
Okay.
And she can do that. She's the only candidate that has property or business and owns anything in the district. And she don't need no job.
Okay.
So she's not running for a job. That's her decision. But as a person that was there, I heard more lies than you could ever imagine. And because I knew they were not telling the truth, the first person I called was the person that was in charge of the event. And I said, why you didn't have political fact finders? Why you didn't have people there that knew if a candidate was telling the untruth, they could call them out right then and now? Well, I thought they were telling the truth. Then you didn't do your research. If you ask a question, you should know the answer to it.
Right.
And if somebody doesn't give you the right answer, you should be able to say something. So what was your purpose of it? See, it's not the audience. So I told them, I just felt like the lies that was the Left Orlando lie, how the city has literally given, Mayor Dye has given his friends from CNL and others that's on that board over $5 million of my tax dollars. I'm upset that the $25,000 that's going to go to a local magazine and go tell everybody this is a great program. No, they screwed our community. They screwed our community and they made the rich white people more richer. So people lying about that and the benefits of that. Then the benefits of the soccer stadium, that's a big flat lie. We got screwed and we're still paying them off. And they got 20 years to pay us our money. They closed the street down without a transportation study. Well, the list goes on. Then the one lie about the jobs for the community, big flat lie. If 20,000 people in the community, you down to 5, stop telling us these are jobs. Because if it's a private entity, you can't make nobody hire nobody.
Right.
And you have no accountability on that. So stop telling lies about jobs. There is no jobs coming from these projects to our community. And don't say we're not qualified, because I did that test years ago. They don't want us. They just use that to lie to us to get what they want in our community. The other one was the land trust. Do you remember the land trust? A land trust is where, especially in the Paramount community, when you're building in 2 downtown campuses for UCF or Valencia, they're tax exempt. But because of the structures and everything, the property would increase. Who would get the increase? The property owners, the people who own their businesses. Now we got to pay more money for a nonprofit entity, but most of the people that own property in that community are elderly. So now you're taxing those people out of that community. And a land trust is only for new development. It's not for people who's there.
Okay.
So once again, somebody talked about the land trust, talked about the job. They didn't even touch on the contamination that's in our community. They what was one that really just irked me the most? I think I pretty much hit most of them. So what I heard from the candidates is what they propose to do. I never heard what they've already done. And if they did say they did anything, they lied. They lied.
Okay.
So see, my people that's listening, and go and pull the spending. I shouldn't have to buy a commissioner coffee every morning. That's not what that money is for. I shouldn't have to buy bicycles at Christmas time for your friends. I shouldn't have to give churches money. Separation of church and state. That's buy off money. And then you say, well, Lawanna, that's just working in the community. Now, the other 4 white commissioners don't do that. With their discretionary funds. Only the 2 black commissioners, Sam Eames, Regina Hill, and prior to that, Daisy Lyman, always the black ones have done that. Why? So when Mayor Dye says shut something down, them ministers and all got to come down there and shut whatever we getting ready to do down. Because he don't want no black people raising up on him and saying that this town is racist. It is.
Okay.
It is what they do to our urban community. It is.
But how is that any different than any other city, though?
I don't live there.
Right.
It happened to me. Yeah.
No. What I meant by the problem I'm talking about I'm not, I don't mean it the way that it sounds.
I understand.
I'm talking about overall the problems we have as people of color, period, no matter where you go. And and that's what I mean by the problems that we have overall. And our ignorance. Remember I was talking about how our ignorance, that's what I meant, because no matter where you go, no matter what city, we will have the same problems.
I agree.
And the challenges. So if you was to leave Orange County, if you was to leave the city,
they've been trying to get rid of
no. What I'm saying is, if you was to leave Orange County, if you was to leave the city of Orlando, if you go to Duval County, go to Duval, you gonna run into the same thing, same problem.
Exactly.
And you're gonna look at our people and you're gonna be like,
what's wrong with y'all? And guess what? The difference between me and the average citizen is I look at them and take up my plate and keep on going. Because somebody got to fight the battle.
oh yeah, I mean, no, sweetheart. You know, I'm thankful for you. Mm-hmm. I'm thankful for your strength. Mm-hmm. I'm thankful for your honesty. That's why you think I call you pit bull. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, because we all need the pit bull. We all need somebody like you in the midst of the storm. You know, because I recently had a friend of mine on that I've been knowing back as long as I've been knowing you, and she kind of disappeared for a while, and she wrote this book called A White Man's Woman. And to reading that book, I had on, and it's a tough read. It really is, because the book is about a mother and a family and coming up in Georgia, and you know.
I might know who you're talking about. She was in the military.
Yeah,
outside of Edison, Georgia.
Yeah.
I know exactly, because my family is from Edison, Georgia.
Right. Yeah.
And I understand what happened to her family.
Right, and so that battle and just again how they see us, you know, and overall how they treat us and our battles, and it still goes on. I mean, it hasn't changed. It has, and then what makes it even worse is that this generation don't have a clue. This generation coming up.
This is the one lesson I tell everybody. Learn from my Jewish brothers and sisters. They know everything about the Holocaust. They know everything. We have to stop sugarcoating what happened to our people.
Yeah, exactly.
When I got to see the birth of the nation, when I got to see Hidden Figures as a sister who majored in math and saw those sisters working for NASA and had no idea that they exist, I got angry, and then I said, I got to do something about it. So I started tutoring again in math. What I'm saying is, take our history, learn from it, and I tell people all the time, it's only going to be a very, very few. Give me them few and let me do what I got to do, because the rest of them will catch on later. Just hurry up, because time is wasted. But come on. But I'm going to hold the door open. You might take a little longer to get there, but come on, because ultimately I need you to go through the door so we can start fighting these battles. But if you don't, I'm not going to hold it open forever. I'm just going to go through with the 5 that I got and see what we can do. And so I tell you honestly, I hear you. Because it's not an argument, but a debate within my own family. I mean, my brother, girl, they're going to do what they want to do no matter what. But when it came home, I saw a side of him that I never saw before. When you actually saw a politician attack his mother,
wow,
and send DCF to our daycare because she decided to run for office, and then put her in a wheelchair and said she too old to run for office. Oh, I saw a different son. Oh, you done went too far. Because now you done pushed the wrong button. Now whatever she needs, all his friends, I didn't know Miss Betty was your mama. Oh, she kept my cousin. Oh, look, we got her. See, you got to find what triggers. Mm-hmm. That's what's triggered him. With my sister working in the school system now, she sees how her children and how she, don't take them to Selma, don't take them to the March on Washington, don't.
What?
Now, take them anywhere you want to go. Wherever you want to go, let them go. Because now she see these kids are blind and dying for lack of information and knowledge. And the little she gives them, here, read this little book. I was just discussing with somebody today about the miseducation of the Negro. That book came out so many years ago, but we're living right in the days of it. And when we were talking about, they called me about the Confederate statue down at Lake Yola. And what did I think about it? I said, what am I supposed to think about it? It's exactly how I responded. It's a statue. It's been there 100 years. I'm upset because them people let Mayor Dyer pass 3 ordinances that's going to screw my community up. And they sat right there and got mad because I got up there and spoke about it. And you talking about a 100-year-old statue? I don't care about that statue. First of all, Paramore, named after Confederate general.
Right.
Know your history. Stop. But see, this is what the problem is. That's a safe battle for who? White people, to feel like they're part of our community. No, you want to know who leading that charge? A white organization got black people going up and saying, this is wrong. While you getting screwed by that same organization, they're going to say, well, see, I told you we can get black people to do what we need them to do. So give us the money, because we got the black people community. We know how to go in there and work in the community. See, you just got used. Mm-hmm. And that's how I looked at it. I was like, come on, people. It's not the statue. It's what we're living in today, 2017. The racial divide. We got a street called Division Street in Orlando.
Right. Exactly.
And they want to change the name. Don't you change that name? Because it doesn't stand for white on this side and black on this side. It stands for economic division. Right. Meaning downtown, all the money goes downtown. Paramount, even though it's in the downtown development boundaries and the CRA boundaries, you don't see them spending out one dime in the blighted community. And that's what the money is supposed to be for. That's why I went to Tallahassee and told the governor, don't give them no money for the CRA fund. Don't keep giving money for them to make their friends rich. Why do I need you to give $100,000 to the soccer team to put some palm trees up in front of their walkway? They did it. I said something about it. The palm trees are there.
Right.
But we can't get our streets paid. We can't get certain things that we're in the same zone, the boundaries, that you're supposed to spend the money on the community to revitalize it. You can't get none of that. We just angry black people. We don't know what we talking about. We do.
Well, yeah.
We just know that you doing us wrong. But you would never do that on the east side of town. And I told Mad Dye, I say it all the time, that when you start spending the money right, I won't be here. And I keep reminding them, why you not upset when they spend $6 million for 3 trees?
Wow, what?
3 trees right on South Street in Summerlin. That's the dog park, to save a block with 3 trees and put a dog. $6 million. But you couldn't save Tinker Field. Now it's a parking lot.
Right.
10 million. So look at the money, people. If you don't want to come and march or whatever, don't march. Go look at the budget. It's online. Read what's going on the agenda. It's online. If you can't come to the meeting, look at it. It's online. Do something to be informed. I'm not going to keep fighting all y'all battles. Well, you don't even want to do nothing. What I'm saying is, my passion, I got you. But every now and then, I need to fill my tank up. Every now and then. All I'm saying is, this is all local stuff. I didn't even get to the state stuff.
Right.
I didn't even get to some of the county stuff. So what I'm telling you, this is a part of our everyday life. None of y'all yelled and screamed when Mayor Dye gave himself a raise. But he only gave them workers a 2% increase instead of the 3% he had promised them. None of y'all seeing what he's doing. He's a union buster. Well, he's a Democrat. No, he's a Dixiecrat. Look that up and know the difference.
Dixiecrat.
He's a Dixiecrat. That was a party. It's more closer to Republican Tea Party people you will ever meet. Their mission. Look it up. Look it up. Stop being fooled by what this man is saying he's going to do. Judge him on what he's already done. That's what I told him last Monday. Your tactics make me go, because I know what you're capable of. You're wrong. You do our community so wrong.
What's the What's the longest conversation you've had with him?
I haven't. I remember when he first got in office, my mom and I supported him. And we went to his office and we had 13 questions. And one of them was, how much longer will the city of Orlando fund the Nat Ford charter school?
Right.
Charter school. And we asked about some other things. I still got that list, and that's over 10 years ago. I still have that list. And I know then when I said that went in file 13, and that was the longest conversation we ever had with him, because I saw that man for what he truly was.
Okay.
He was an opportunist. He said what he had to say to get what he needed, and he didn't care about my community. His job was to finish what they had said years ago. Get rid of them black people downtown in Paramore, because the community, Orlando cannot expand east. It can only go west. Get rid of them black people, because we want that land.
When did he get to know you and who you are? When did he get to know you?
As far as my capabilities?
No, when I meant by knowing who you are, when you know, when he sees you, he goes, oh, he knows who you are.
I think he knew me when he was going in, because he had ran for Senate and some other positions, and I knew some of his aides. Currently, I knew Bruce Antone that worked for him. So I'm pretty sure he knew me then, but as far as my passion and will question his ability to lead the community.
Right, that's what I was asking.
Within the last 8 years.
8 years.
Of his race. Because you got to remember, when he won the full term against Mulvaney, I ran against Ernest, and that's when we did the lawsuit about the voter fraud, and he was removed from office for 6 weeks. So he got to know me then. So yeah, he does not like me, because I gave him a mugshot, and he got removed from office, and he had to fight for his job, and they changed all kinds of laws, but ultimately, buddy, you did cheat to get in office. That's all. You would have won, but you cheated.
Right.
So he knew then, because I had black people especially calling me and saying, Lawanna, you might want to separate yourself from the Mulvaney. And you might, I said, are you the one delivering the message that I need to be scared? And this is what I said to one of them, which we finally cleared the air years later. I said, I'm a black woman that lives in her house by herself. The law has just changed. You come to my property, I can shoot and kill you outside. I ain't got to wait till you to come here. So what are you trying to deliver? Because would you call somebody, your wife, would you want a man calling your wife and delivering the message you're delivering to me? Or what would you want? I said, so let me let you understand. Being a single woman, I'm not afraid of a black man. My dad raised a daughter to know her value. And to speak up. But I ain't stupid. I got some brothers and some cousins. Let's do what we got to do now. So don't come to me threatening me or with bodily harm and think I'm just going, oh, well, can't we all just get along? No, we going to get along, but you're not going to intimidate me and think I'm going to bow down to you. I'm not afraid of you. So that's the pet bull that you're talking about.
I know.
Has those conversations happened? Yes, I've had those conversations with people. Have I had women call me, you're not afraid? I am a child of God. He got my back. As long as I continue to do his work, I'm going to be okay. Do I have days where I just get frustrated? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Being in the position that you're in?
When I get a phone call from Gainesville about a case where the young man is in jail, they ain't do nothing. They got shot at. The mama said, I heard about you from such and such and such. Can you help me? I said, I'm going to see what I can do. And when I get calls from other places, even out of the state, well, I heard how you handled this. How did you do this? They find whatever way they can. God has blessed me to steer them in the right direction. Do I know all the answers? Absolutely not. But one thing I will do is give you my best. And I will try my best to help you. And sometimes I just flat out tell them. I had a gentleman who said his son had a scholarship and he was playing baseball and they treated him real poorly. And he wanted to transfer. I said, did they take his scholarship? No. I said, so he got a full ride next year? Yeah. I said, you got two choices. Put up with it or go. It's simple. Now, If he goes, you know what the consequences are. If he stays, you know what the consequences are. But don't call me to say it's wrong. I already know it's wrong. Life is wrong.
Right.
It's what you do with the wrongdoing. And that's, I think, is what Mayor Dyer is upset about with me. He's yelled at me. Like I say, he sent the police after me. He's done everything possible to try to discredit me. He's had, I mean, my phone used to ring, hang up, tap, you name it. That don't work. I don't shake my head, Mayor Dyer. I get even with facts. So I don't roll my eyes, Mayor Dyer. I get even with facts. And I'm not afraid to bring those facts and challenge you in the court of law. So it's simple. I do not have anything personal against this man, but I live in the city of Orlando. So I said from the beginning, local politics affects me. Right here. And so when I can take care of this problem, I move on. I help with the county issues. I help with state issues. But when Orlando is #1 for excessive force cases in the country, that means Orlando beating the crap out of black people. Yeah. When Orlando is the tourist capital of the world, but when you look at the 2 districts that are predominantly African American, 5 and 6, you do not see the return, but they make the most money. International Drive is in District 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The Citrus Bowl, the soccer stadium, the Amway Arena is in District 5. Half of downtown is in District 5. Look at what makes the money, and then you look at the district as a whole and tell me, is the money coming back in the community? No.
So when you bring that to the attention, what is usually the response that you get? Because it's obvious that it's making the money, and it's obvious that the money is not coming back in the community.
Well, it's obvious that I have been offered jobs to go away. But I told them you should do your research well enough because you offered me peanuts. So if I'm going to go away, you're going to have to pay a sister. Right. So get it straight, y'all. I'm not for sale because I tell them all the time, all of this that I do, I do for free. Right. Come again. But don't come with me. No, I'm not cheap. Right. I know my value. Right. So don't insult me. I'm at a point now that I prayed and I got with the Lord, and God brought me to understand that the only way we're going to start making a change now is we start filing complaints and filing lawsuits against the corruption. And as long as we had Lawson Lamar in office, we was in trouble. Then we got Jeff Ashton. I took a lot of this to him. He did absolutely nothing with it. Now we got Erin Sayana. I helped her on the election. I had a meeting with her last Monday. I was working. I'm going to bring the complaints to her. And let's see what happens. And like I told her, I help you. But if I don't like what I see, I'm going to find somebody else and work on their campaign and vote you out. Meaning, your job is to protect and serve the community, not the politicians. Do I feel like she's going to do the right thing? I'm going to give her a chance. But I already gave Jeff Ashton and Lawson Lamar their chance. And so I'm going to tell you how I know Brad King. I know the time almost up. Brad King, that's been assigned Marquis Lord, he was the independent counsel that was signed to my case with Buddy Dyer on the voter fraud. But Governor Chris, a Republican, did assign Brad King. And that's why we were able to get a grand jury and an indictment against Buddy. And see, he had a summary judgment and he had some rule. He was not found guilty. He agreed to do something. And see, he went and expunged that record, but I got the whole case. Every deposition and everything. I got hard copies of everything. Mayor Dyer. So what I'm saying is, I want everybody to understand, I am not against this man. I live in Orlando, Florida, city limits. My family owns 4 properties and a business in the city. We're getting our butts taxed off, and we're not getting any benefits from what we're paying. But I see everybody, the wealthiest people, get all kinds of benefits from my tax dollars. I got a problem with it.
2 last things as we close out. We recently talked about Anthony Grant. I want to ask you, And this is, I'm just asking, that you don't know the answer, but I'm just asking about how much time you think he will get and what you think may happen with the Corinne Brown case as well. So we will close out with those two.
Anthony Brown, Anthony Grant, I'm so sorry what happened, but you should have known better.
Right.
You cannot do what others do. And if it was worth it, you can get up to 40 years. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but it was enough for him not to come home. Corinne Brown, because I've known Corinne, because I knew what transpired in that case, I feel like when they removed that one jury, that made a possibility of appeal. But Corinne gonna have to make a decision. Is she gonna take the grunt of everything for everybody else and just deal with it, or is she gonna fight? Because I'm gonna tell you, I don't think she did all of that stuff. I know most of it was done by her aide and others, but at the end, you were the elected official.
Mm-hmm.
You were the elected official. So I feel sorry, but I want everybody to understand, when somebody throws somebody under the bus for no apparent reason, it was people she helped. One particular who initials is DM, who went up there and was on stand for almost 2 hours. Y'all need to check out what people do to others and why. And so I say, I wish her well. The woman is 78 years old. I don't want her to spend no time in jail. But at this point, you cannot do what the other people of a lighter hue, white people, Caucasians do. You can't do it.
Right.
They think you're going to get away with it.
You're right.
Because you're not going to get, they will always make you the example.
You're right.
And they will always redirect anything that they're doing towards you.
You're right. So I want to thank you so very much. I feel your energy. I've been absorbing it all show long.
Okay.
You got a wonderful smile. Your passion.
I like you saying that word, because they used to try to take my passion as if I'm angry.
Right. No,
Not
it's
angry.
a passion. It's a passion. I mean, well, you can feel it, you know. So you know when you speak, you know your voice get real high.
I'm working on that.
No. Leave it the way that it is.
Okay.
You know, there's nothing wrong. That shows your passion. You know, so no, you don't have to do anything. I'm just saying, you can, when you get into it and you get the facial expression and this is real. So,
It is.
and that's who you are. So there's nothing wrong with that. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show. You know, we've been talking for a while now, and I read your emails and your meetings and so on and so forth. So, you got something coming up.
Actually, I'm working with the LGBT community.
Right.
And this upcoming Wednesday, the 24th, we're doing part 2, racism and discrimination within the LGBT community.
Right.
And I partner with a lot of people. That's a conversation. Racism is everywhere. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is.
Right.
It's everywhere.
Okay. Well, if you would like to have them come on the show, we can do a show and we can talk about that as well. I would love to, you know, have them on the show and maybe we can tap into some more passion.
Okay, let's do that.
So I want to thank you so very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And you let me know when you want to come back now. Let me know when you got something, because you know it seems like you always got something hot and juicy.
Well, I'm going to have something hot and juicy within the next 2 weeks, after the holiday weekend.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I should have everything, all the complaints completed, and we'll be filing them with the state attorney's office.
All right.
That's my goal, to get them all in June.
Okay, so you got to keep me up to date, or keep us up to date.
I promise I will.
All right. Well, if you've been paying attention, then you know why I call her the pit bull, Buddy Dyer's best friend.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And so with that, everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Journey 2020. We're here every Monday from 7 to 8, and as you see, we really good show tonight. So I've learned a lot. Like I said, we go back in the day when we used to play ball down at Lake Lawanna, and at that time never knew that she would end up being, as I would call her, you know, that pit bull. And you can tell her passion and that she really cares. Join us next week. Next week we will be talking to Officer Stan Murray, Arthur Wilson, and my pastor. And we'll be doing a follow-up on attorney
Aramis?
Yeah, no, Ayala.
Aramis Ayala.
Yeah. Well, there's another part 3 series that will be taking place because I did something with equal justice with them as well. So that'll be another part 3 of the series. So stay tuned for that. And until then, you have yourself a great weekend.